We know it can be really challenging to engage with patient advocacy groups or patient support organisations in different countries, across regions, and in general in the community. Advocacy Beyond Borders is seeking to work with you to make that as smooth and seamless as possible so you achieve the goals that you have for your organisation across the region, and patient advocacy groups also get what they're looking for.
The way that this could be achieved is Advocacy Beyond Borders are empowering the communities to understand more about what is involved in their needs and to plan for those needs, to be more sophisticated in their responses and to be pharma ready so they can have conversations in a way and reach out to get support that they may need for their priority areas.
Advocacy Beyond Borders is providing patient support groups with toolkits and resources so that they are prepared and ready to work with you. That can involve everything that they require to either begin to build a community, to understand a community that exists, to dig much deeper into the needs and expectations of that community. And that may lead to things like advocacy campaigns or information into an application for a regulatory requirement, bringing that information and evidence to whatever it is that they can work with you on to achieve the things that they need to achieve, but you'll also have priorities too.
I think another aspect is to have them to understand and have the knowledge about their community, to be clear on their needs and their priorities, to be more sophisticated in their responses, and to be able to work more effectively with you to look at joint outcomes that lead to real impactful change and access to medication, to treatment, and ultimately to a better life.
And there's the governance aspects around those things too. So we're also educating the communities about how you collect data in a responsible way, how you protect communities' privacy and individuals' privacy, how you gain consent, how you store data, how you utilise data, how you make that data available in a way that respects your community but creates a really powerful and strong message that can be used to work with other stakeholders to get the result.
To advocate to government who may not wish to have those changes implemented, but with the evidence and the information presented in a way that is powerful and from over a period of time, that real world data, along with other data that is provided from yourselves, can have that advocacy change that is going to lead to policy and an outcome of access.
So we know that you need a more educated and informed patient community across a country and across a region. But we need some things from you too. So we need to know what your priorities are so we can work with the patient communities and ensure that everyone's on the same page. We can be that conduit between what aspirations our patient communities have and what realities the pharmaceutical sector has, and bring those things together so that collectively we're going to be able to achieve results.
Collaboration is key, and working together across the needs to get that outcome that everyone wants. That's the idea. And obviously any cohesive, collaborative and supportive plan that is enabled is going to be more powerful when a patient organisation is supported to be sophisticated in its responses.
So you can support us by having a look on the website, and you'll see that we have prepared already some projects that you can provide your support to, which will deliver that outcome that you just talked about.
And I think just with some evidence that's already occurred, to look at from my perspective with New Zealand, I think it's important to have an example here where working together with pharmaceutical companies, with the patient groups, with the leaders of networks that are important in that country, and with evidence and information that's being gathered in a meaningful, respectful, and appropriate manner, that leads to change. So that leads to a change in policies and an agreement for a strategy for rare disease, and also to access to medicines that people vitally need in order to survive. I think that is the real crux and the real reason that we're doing this. And we ask for you to come along on this journey with us so we can have this change ahead to make change across the region for the Asia Pacific.
And we can support your objectives by understanding what your priorities are, understanding what you need to be able to pursue those priorities in the region and in individual countries, and by working with the local communities in those countries on local solutions which are achievable in that local environment, we can work with you and support you if we understand what it is you need as well.
So working together, learning about the needs, the barriers, the challenges, working on the nuances for each country and each support group, enabling and amplifying their voice in order to achieve these positive outcomes that we all desire, so that the world and the quality of life for the people who are most vulnerable in society is positively impacted.
We all want medicines and services to be available. We want them to be affordable, and we want them to be accessible for everybody in an equitable way.
Another area to be of consideration is that we all want to improve the diagnostic odyssey, to make things identifiable and to have them to be treatable, and to get that to the people who need it the most in as quick a way as possible. So obviously we understand the barriers around that. That's what we're doing this for. That's why Advocacy Beyond Borders is here, to make that process smoother, to enable things to be more accessible for those who need it the most.
Well, it's really about creating change, isn't it? And to create change, we need conditions to be identifiable. We need them to be treatable. And once we understand how to treat them, then we need to go down a preventable path. We want conditions to be preventable into the future.
And preventable may be the future that we're looking at with gene therapies and opportunities for innovative technologies. That's something that we would be really excited to be part of. We understand the challenges for pharma. We know how difficult it can be and where the barriers are. That's why we're fully committed to empowering our patient groups to be able to work with you.
And that precision healthcare juggernaut that is introducing challenges of identifying diseases and identifying conditions, and then finding the treatments which directly link to what we've identified, and putting ourselves in a position which we can then prevent those conditions in the future. Those 3 steps and those 3 issues
are key.
They're key, and they can be worked on collaboratively, and we will find a way together to address each of them as a partnership.
We'd love for you to support one of our projects so we can make a meaningful impact together for our communities.